You think you've got my number figured out? A motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design, I blatantly decline your remedy. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, and if I lose the fight, I still rage against the I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. It's plain and simple, dear. I'll still be here when you're gone. You gather souvenirs, but I will never be your pawn, your pawn, your pawn. My love wasn't ever a game. I lay with cards out on the table. There's nothing to gamble away, but I can promise that you'll never be the same. But I can promise that you'll never be the same. You can double down. I'll still be a proud haven for your love is never lost.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Monday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Monday, folks. We are having some slight technical difficulties, but we'll get it fixed. Welcome everybody. Yeah, there's a couple of things that I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing. Anyways, that's about as much as it's gonna go. Welcome everybody. I hope everyone's doing awesome. Live from the Polymarket Studios. Man, I hope nothing crazy happened during the last couple of days, because that would be wild, right? That would be wild if something crazy happened in the last 48 hours, 72 hours. Tropical Ding Dong, welcome. Let me say hello to everybody here in chat. Michael Hasser, Nadia, welcome. Bruno, Soul Life, welcome. Operation Epic Fortnite Chungus, thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, so that happened. So that happened. Operation Epstein fiercely wagging the dog. Yeah, that happened, folks. It's it's here. War with Iran essentially started, and I mean, what else is there to say, folks? We're being led to war by a bunch of pedophile. We're being led to war with Iran at the behest of the Epstein class, on behalf of Israel. So yeah, that's happening. Thank you all for joining here. I mean, like, there's really like much to say. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna like stream about. I mean, what else is there to say? You know what I mean? It's like we're at war with Iran, and now we're all gonna pay the price for this. It doesn't matter if you agree, if you don't agree with the war. We're all gonna pay the price here. So yeah. We freed Iran as the alternative facts version. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like we didn't even do that. We didn't even do that. Ladybug, welcome. Have you watched the video Geostrategy number 8, the Iran trap? You could spend this the stream reacting to it. Is it a copyright video? Because no, I haven't watched it. One second, folks. If Friedrich Merz joins World War III on the side of the Epstein class, I'm out. I'll find some way to Thailand or somewhere else. Oh, now it's up to the people to take Iran back. They just need to avoid schools because of Israel's weird sense of humor. Yeah, humor is not exactly what how I would put it, but yeah. I don't understand why this isn't working. Alright, whatever. It is what it is. And like, just to be clear, like there's a lot of like Iranians that are celebrating this kind of stuff, and like yeah, I mean, I get that, but that doesn't mean that what we are doing is right. Does that make sense? Like, you can say that the Iranian regime is terrible, and also say that we have absolutely no right to try to invade Iran. The geostrategy number 8, the Iran trap, is a lecture from a professor in 2024 stating that Trump will invade Iran. The same professor in the same series made a series of predictions that have all come true in 2025 and since. Wow. I mean, maybe we can go over some of that stuff on Wednesday. I'll be a little bit more open to that. Plus, it gives me a excuse to save my voice by Wednesday. Cuban Americans also celebrated a Trump victory. They're brainwashed by imperialist capitalism. Yeah, I mean, essentially, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I get why I get why people would be happy, why the Iranian people would be happy about, you know, a repressive regime. But we have no business, you know, illegally bombing and trying to start a war with Iran. Okay? Especially, like, let's be honest, like, we don't bring stability or democracy wherever we go. That's not what we do, per se. Bad Lefty, welcome. My local shop is such a ripoff, but I'm not going to drive my truck through their big glass doors. Right. The Iranian Minister of Defense tweeted, "We're fighting the Epstein class when they're not bombing kids to bits, they're effing them." True. True. Iranians might be running from one dictatorship to another. Right. We don't bring stability. We don't bring stability to the region. A few of their hospitals have already been taken out, and at least one school and gym. Yep. Yep. Folks, can you see the stream okay? Folks on YouTube. Old Al Hooten, welcome. I just think we have no business there. 100%. And like, again, this country doesn't have a history of bringing democracy where we go. You know what I mean? Like, the last time we brought, quote, democracy to the Middle East, 1 million people died. And and Iraq is still unstable. You need a mod? I am the mod. Yes, on both YouTubes? Okay, good, it's working. Hey, Boku, welcome. You have a very long head. Something's weird with the angle. I don't know. That's not me. It should be either there should be two streams happening simultaneously. There should be a YouTube Shorts stream, and there should be a normal stream happening at the same time. We bring economic slavery wherever we go. True. Iran just might end up like Afghanistan. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think this is going to be a lot worse. I think that if nothing stops this, I think it's going to be a lot worse. This is not going to be like Afghanistan or Iraq at all. At all. Maybe it looks normal on a phone. Yeah, there's supposed to be two streams happening There's supposed to be a vertical stream, and there's supposed to be a normal horizontal stream. Iran doesn't play. Exactly. This will have blow block. This will turn off a lot of Americans too. Yep. And Mod, we don't see this pro-Israel US crap. I know, I got rid of them. In the sense of being a fake country, a failed state. Yeah, well, maybe, because again, this was this was not really like, the difference is in Afghanistan, we went in there and we tried to like prop up regime change. We're not doing regime change per se in Iran. It doesn't seem like that's what we're doing. We're just bombing the crap out of them. We say one thing, but I don't know if actually I don't know if actually we are interested in any kind of regime change here. It just seems like we just want to bomb the crap out of people, and that's it. Ladybug, welcome. John Lithium, welcome. Planet Versal, welcome. Yeah, there's two streams going on. There's a YouTube short stream, and there's a normal stream going on. Normal YouTube video. So I'm just trying that out, and hopefully it works. They want Iran to become a failed state. Yeah, but it doesn't quite work like that. Because there's this again. This is not like Afghanistan or Iraq, right? Iran is different. Iran is much bigger, and there's more continuity programs for their leadership. So it's not that regime is not going to go away just like that. That was weird. Can you guys see me? I can see you. Yeah, there's two streams, folks. Anyways, let's get started, folks. I'm due to all for short streams. Why are you making a short? Because YouTube Shorts brings in more folks, and I need more eyeballs. This is important. I need more eyeballs on the channel. They lowballed the GWAT body count is more like 12 million, not 1 million. I mean, quite possibly, yeah. Quite possibly. We can always assume that whatever the American government says is probably understated. So yeah, I don't doubt that. That it's a lot worse than what they say. I'm just saying what we know, what we have on paper. But yeah, you're most likely correct. You're most likely correct. It messed up with my notifications. Did it give you two notifications? I don't know why it would though. I guess next time. Look, we'll try something. We'll try something different. Okay, 1 second, folks. We'll try something different. One second. Like what I'm confused about is why it does two separate streams when I just want it to do one, but whatever. Okay, so it does do that automatically. It does automatically the both vertical and horizontal streams. I'm just me, welcome. Oh, okay, so when there's 2 streams, it goes... Okay, cool, I get it. I get it. The problem with multiple streams is lower viewer count per stream. No, well, yeah, maybe. But there is 2 streams happening. There is 2 streams happening. But if you type in chat on either one of them, it should connect both chats. So whatever. Maybe next time, like Boku said, I'll try doing a the live stream that's a live stream that's short. I'll just name it short. There's a lot of people who only use shorts. That's why YouTube is suggesting this. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But hey, at least we have two ways of doing it. I want rivers, not streams. All right. 500K was from just dead Iraqi children from 90s sanctions. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, then that number makes a lot more sense. Two-fisted streaming, exactly. Exactly. Alright, folks. Hey, wait a minute, where did I go? There I am. Okay. Let's get started, folks. Yeah, if you're seeing me from the vertical stream, you can switch over to the other live stream and just hang out in the regular one. If you're on the YouTube Shorts, you can just jump in the regular one, or jump on Twitch, whichever one is easier for you. Welcome. Two streams, 1 cup. Jesus Christ. Alright, folks, let's get started. And you see how, like, nice the vertical stream is? This is what I've been working on all weekend. If you want short streams to get a ton of traffic, then tag it as gaming, but you'll need a dedicated mod for that. Nope, I'm not going to do that because it's not gaming, and I don't want that kind of attention. Nope, I'm good. I'm good. If it happens organically, then it happens. But I don't want that kind of attention. No, thank you.
You know, they say...
I don't want the gamer community, okay? I don't want the gamer community to find this channel, okay?
That it's... You know, they say that it's all about their civil program, and yet they've been enriching well beyond the number that you need for civil nuclear. It's up to 60%. They're probably a week away from having industrial...
a week away from nuclear weapons for the past, like, 10 years. Or whatever. Probably longer, right? What, not a fan of slurs? No, as it turns out...
Industrial-grade bomb-making material.
They're not enriching right now, but they're trying to get to the point where they ultimately can.
Also, I thought... I thought that we destroyed Iran's nuclear program, but I guess we didn't. But now we did. Or maybe not. Or maybe we did. I don't know. Gamers are right-wing bigots. No, some of them are. Some of them are. I'm a gamer, not a right-wing bigot. Big fan of video games. 1 out of every 100 chatter will be cool and stay, and you'll get thousands of chatters. Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of like I feel like that's not, I don't know, that's not the way I would want to do it. I want to get people who are already like into politics. I want to get those people already here. But yeah, I don't know if I would like say hashtag gaming or file it under gaming, because it's not a gaming channel, not really. Or maybe the whole point is regime change. Maybe not. Maybe it's to stop Iran's nuclear program, which we already destroyed, but I don't know. It's still, you know, or we didn't destroy it, but we did. Or maybe it's because Iran needs democracy, right? Or not. Who knows? I play video games every night about 5 hours, and I don't consider myself a gamer. Congratulations. Well, you are a gamer, okay? Or a person who games, I guess. You're right. Iran was never going close to get to a nuclear bomb. Also, they weren't really trying. Not really. They were, whatever. Anti-gaming sentiment based on overbroad stereotypes is small brain thinking. Yeah, well, some gamers have earned that, but yeah. Gamer here, no, not a right-wing bigot. Almost like they weren't even trying.
So it seems like Donald Trump's cronies are having a really hard time getting their lies straight about why we have to go to war with Iran immediately. As you saw, Marco Rubio directly contradicted what Steve Witkoff said about Iran enriching uranium. Although, to be fair, JD Vance says that he's actually seen evidence
Iran had a fatwa against nukes.
that they are indeed trying
What is a fatwa? I feel like I should know that term.
restart their nuclear program that they supposedly obliterated back in June.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. If they try to rebuild the nuclear weapon, that causes problems for us. And in fact, we've seen evidence that they have tried to do
Problems for
exactly that.
who?
You can't let the craziest and worst regime in the world have nuclear weapons.
Too late, the worst regime in the world already has nuclear weapons. It's called the United States of America.
Yeah, like this is like how you know this whole thing is such nonsense, right? Because like we have nuclear weapons. We have nuclear weapons. Iran only enriches uranium at 60% because it was faster to produce electricity. Fatwa is the religious decree. Oh, okay, a religious decree against nukes. Gotcha. I knew another politics channel that had average 15 viewers. We brought her up to 100 organically. Now she had several hundred. All she did was gaming short hack, but it was mod work. Yeesh. Yeah, I don't know if I have I don't know if I have the firepower to do gaming like that. Oh man. That is wild. Cuz I can shift it to gaming and see what happens, but no, that sounds like chaos. That sounds like chaos. All the shit the US government did to Iran over the years, and they will out here sending their love to duly elected servants of our would-be plutocratic masters. Yep.
We conducted our first successful nuclear test back on July 16th of 1945, and we actually used the first nuclear bomb less than a month later on Hiroshima on August 6th, and then we dropped the second one just days later on Nagasaki on August 9th. And to this day, we are the only country to ever actually use nuclear weapons. So this idea that Iran is going to immediately use nukes on us...
Can you correct your stream tag automatically half the time, though? I mean, if I do it right now, Half the time it'll yank you out of gaming after an hour. Gotcha. Okay. Carl, welcome. Nuclear weapons are so last century. Gaming culture, whatever it is hyper toxic neo-Nazism. I think the undertones. I get what you're saying. That used to be a big problem. I don't know how prominent the toxic like gaming culture is nowadays. But yeah, I totally understand. And see where that's coming from as someone who has spent enough time in that space, especially in lobbies and multiplayer and whatnot. Mike is just saying what Hugo Chavez said once. Imagine if Iran had succeeded unironically a majority of Earth, maybe the US would have greeted them as liberators, actually. Crazy thing to reflect on, just being true.
They get them as pure projection. That's what we did. But guess what? It doesn't even matter if they get a nuke or not, because they're still a threat to us either way. There's other reasons why they say we should still invade Iran.
Iran possesses a very large number of ballistic missiles, particularly short-range ballistic missiles that threaten the United States and our bases in the region and our partners.
Yeah, why are bases there, man? Like, there's no reason for the bases to be there in the first place. There's no reason to be to have those bases there in the first place. I have friends I used to game with, and I can't anymore because they're effing bigoted asshats. Obviously not friends anymore. Yeah, like I said, I totally see where that comes from. When she ended the short stream and sent everyone over to her main stream every night, all of us mods just left. We called it a night. Oof. Micro Rubio. Never finished Elden Ring. I need to play that game eventually. Smart little hustle though, all things considered. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I somehow I still managed to get like a decent amount of people on YouTube, considering, like, mind you, I'm a small fish in the ocean, and somehow I always end up with, like, you know, like a dozen people or so in the stream, and total amount of people is like always like 20 something plus people that are in Twitch and YouTube. I mean, that is a pretty decent audience, I think, for a streamer this small. So I think I'm pretty cool with that. And it's like, again, like I kind of don't want to like game the system that way by like inundating, you know, the space. I don't know. I like Pong, Asteroid, Space Invaders, and Pac-Man. Space Invader. I think I have like an emulator that plays Space Invaders. Asteroids I used to play a lot. There was an emulator on the computer, on the, like, you know, older computers, that let you play Asteroid. Pong. I don't think I've played Pong that often. Again, I think I have like one of those like old emulators when I was bored in class back in the day, that would play some of these, like, what we would consider now more arcade games. The reason for that is US bases to bully Iran. I tell you, they're all valid targets. Well, Iran certainly thinks so. We're the true believers that are in almost every left-wing news and political stream. Exactly. That's what I want.
In the region. So I want everybody to understand.
Trump is already the greatest president of the 21st century by starting war. By starting war? I'm confused. How is Trump the greatest president in the 21st century by starting war? Pong was still going in the late Carter administration. That's awesome. Night 99% of the toxicity was limited to the shorts, and the normies would eventually migrate to the normal stream. I mean, maybe he liberated Venezuela and Iran. He did none of that. That didn't happen. I don't know where you're getting that information, but he didn't liberate Venezuela or Iran. The remnants of the Maduro regime still run Venezuela, and Iran's government still is functioning. So no, he didn't liberate anybody at all. Pong was first released on a Zenith television as a feature. I actually used to have a Zenith television. Soon will be plus CUDA. I don't know what CUDA is. I don't know. I don't know what CUDA is. Soon will be. So wait. So he didn't liberate them. He didn't liberate them. He will soon plus CUDA, which I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, dude, maybe this isn't the stream for you. Perhaps try something else. Perhaps try again. Okay, try again. Try again, buddy. Cuba. Oh, Cuba. Cuba. Oh, how is he going to liberate Cuba? Because he didn't liberate Venezuela or Iran. Democratic elections will be held in Venezuela this June. Oh, really? Who said that? Do we have several Twitch mods? I just like to play with my food sometimes. ADT, sometimes the text translator fails. Don't be mean. No, I'm being purposely mean to a troll who doesn't deserve it. And CUDA's NVIDIA's GPU API. Trump literally said there was no plans for elections. You know that, right? The regime hasn't changed at all. The Venezuelan regime, the Venezuelan government is still working. It's the Maduro regime still. So he didn't liberate Venezuela. He didn't liberate Iran. Rubio said Venezuela will hold elections within the year. Oh, well, thank God. I mean, if Rubio says it, you know what I mean? No, there's not going to be any elections anytime soon. The government is just continuing with the succession. The second in command, the second in command is just assuming Maduro's place. So no, Venezuela didn't get liberated. Try again. Try again.
Beyond just a nuclear program, they possess these conventional weapons that are solely designed to attack America and attack Americans.
Fair enough. I can't really argue with that. It is really irresponsible for Iran to put their country right next to all of our military bases in the Middle East. I mean, just look at this map, courtesy of Reuters. It shows you just how many
Are you a big Epstein fan? Oh, by default, if you think that Trump is the greatest president in the 21st century, you're automatically like a pedophile defender. So yeah, absolutely, bad lefty. They're by default an Epstein fan. They're by default a pedophile defender.
Bases and naval facilities and U.S. outposts that there are in the Middle East. So, obviously Iran is trying to intimidate us. But, I guess from their perspective, I could kind of see why they would be the ones who feel intimidated, seeing as how, to them it might look like we're the ones that are surrounding their country. And
there's no difference whatsoever. The United States has already taken control of Venezuela's oil industry. Nope, not actually. No. They've taken some oil of Venezuela, but they haven't taken control of their industry. Not by a long shot, actually. Not by a long shot. And that's also, as Michael Hassler points out, not liberation at all. That's theft, actually. Assuming that that's true, that's theft, not liberation. But try again. Yeah, liberation from opposition to U.S. imperialism. China can no longer purchase Venezuelan oil. Of course they can. And also, China doesn't necessarily need Venezuelan oil. But again, this is not liberation. How is Venezuela liberated? You're not answering the question. If you can't answer the question, I mean, like, why are you even here, dude? This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. You can't even stay focused, man. Come on, buddy. Trump and Vance are calling off the elections in the US. They're making elections happen anywhere has zero credibility. They stole the oil and took the money to a personal and private Trump account in Qatar. Yeah, in hindsight, mine very late, slow uptake on personally and fully aware. A lot of folks tried to warn this historically. Yep. 1 second, folks. Okay, maybe that's a bit better because I was having problems. I kept touching the mic. Anyways, yeah. So how is Venezuela being liberated right now? I'm confused. You still haven't answered the question. Maduro's already fallen from power. I told you that they're just a continuation of it. It's the second in command. The current Venezuelan government is collaborating with the United States to facilitate the transition. It's just you leftists refuse to acknowledge it. Even if Venezuela were to hold elections, you still claim they're invalid. No. Again, I asked you how they were liberated. They're not. It's still the same government. Even if they were collaborating with the United States, that doesn't mean that the regime has changed. It doesn't mean that the people were liberated. Again, I ask you, and again, this may be difficult for you because you're probably very stupid. But again, how are they liberated if it is the same government, regardless of their cooperation with the United States or not?
You know, I think it's fair to assume that they perceive us as a threat, considering how we've been a threat to their country for decades. In fact, back in 1951, when Iran's democratically elected premier Mohammad Mossadegh tried to nationalize their country's oil supply, the US and the UK accused him of being a communist, and then they subsequently orchestrated a coup to replace him just 2 years later with the Shah, a dictator who was more than willing to give foreign companies access to that sweet, sweet oil. But widespread dissatisfaction with this US-imposed puppet led to a revolution in 1979 that led to the current regime taking power that is now in control of the country. And our government has been looking for reasons to invade them ever since that revolution took place, with the biggest boogeyman being nuclear weapons. And the reason why nuclear weapons are so scary is because what if other countries are as crazy as we are and actually use them? And for decades, we've been told that Iran...
The government is merely transitional. When Poland collapsed, the communist regime had still 2 years to transition, so Poland could draft a new constitution. You don't even know history. What the heck does Poland have to do with anything? What does Poland have to do with anything? You're clearly just stupid.
Iran is this close to getting a nuclear weapon, even though that hasn't happened. In fact, Netanyahu has been one of the biggest boosters of this lie.
Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the...
2015, by the way. Weeks away since 2015. Okay. Liberate the property of capitalists. Equal opportunity liberation. There you go. Gonna feed the trolls. I'm gonna leave the stream. It's all good. Like dealing with trolls is one of my specialties. Okay. Dealing with trolls and bad faith and bad faith chatters is my speciality. Okay. Just to be clear, I'm not taking that person seriously. They obviously have no idea what they're talking about.
Fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
No!
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about
An entire arsenal! Wait, 2012? This has been going on from 2012?
90%.
As opposed to Israel's nuclear arsenal that's not supposed to be real, right? As opposed to Israel's arsenal, which is which is non-existent, right? Which is non-existent, no? 90%
of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
The Daily Show made that roast of Netanyahu. Oh yeah, this is from the Daily Show. I see. I see. It's actually behind me. If I take my camera away, you can actually see the logo.
To produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs.
2006, man. 20 years.
Year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time
1996.
is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing
95.
alone without.
I was literally like a child. Okay, I was a child when this talking point has been brought up.
Importing anything. Nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
So Iran has been weeks away from getting a nuclear bomb for decades. And even though Trump claimed to have obliterated their nuclear program back in June, here we are again with them just 1 week away from having a nuclear weapon, at least according to Steve Witkoff, and not Marco Rubio, who says that they're not enriching. But as you can see, some things...
I wasn't even alive when they started this false claim. Welcome, Anna. Yeah. Yeah, arrest him. He's a war criminal.
Never change. But there is a really easy way to know for sure whether or not Iran has secured a nuclear weapon. It's when the United States stops threatening to invade them. That's when we'll definitively know that Iran has successfully acquired a nuclear bomb, because as history has taught us, we don't fuck with countries that actually do have nuclear weapons, like North Korea, because that would assure our mutual destruction. So to the extent that Iran wants a nuke, it would obviously be a rational deterrent to U.S. aggression, since we've been aggressive towards them for decades and decades and decades. Because countries that don't have nukes or give up nukes, they get invaded by bigger countries. But to be fair, Trump and J.D. Vance